Welcome to the Web Series Show. On today's episode, we're going to meet the creator of the web series Saving Rent. Now, when I came across this series online, I was really impressed with the high production value, the acting, and the writing was very well done. I thought to myself, this is something that you could really see on network television. So let's take a look at some clips, and then we'll meet the creator of Saving Rent.
My name is Mike, and I'm a project manager. But if you ask me exactly what I do, I couldn't really tell you. For the past 6 months, I've been leaving my home that I share with my girlfriend Kelly and doing absolutely nothing. I don't want to worry Kelly, so instead of telling my girlfriend the truth, I just thought I would find another job quickly and it would be okay. Well, the days turned into weeks, the weeks into months, and to me running out of savings. When I finally realized that we may lose our home, I manned up and told Kelly. Well, actually, I lied to her and made up some baloney story about interest rates.
You know, you start to hear all about this web stuff, all these high-end content that's coming up for the web, and I eventually knew that web and TV was going to become one eventually, not then. And I kind of just told myself, let's try it out. I mean, I've done shorts before and films, and I worked in television, but I didn't really know anything about the web or creating content for the web. And I got together with a couple of people, and we decided to put the show together. You can see maybe just to get our feet wet. So when the time comes when, you know, web TV is popular, I'll have something to show. The show itself, again, we didn't have a huge budget for the show, and creating stuff without guns and blowing up or, you know, constructing things on a very low budget. You have to come up with an idea that, you know, is relatable and it works and that has worked before and just a standard TV format. And, you know, I like the 80s style comedy very much, so we kind of thought, let's stick in that realm. And, I mean, everybody, especially in LA, has a roommate story. And I was living with an awful roommate back then. So we kind of just said, you know, how about like a roommate story and putting, you know, a bunch of different people in a small environment and see how they react. And plus 2008, that's when the whole economy thing happened. And it kind of made sense, you know, people moving in together, save rent, kooky characters in a house. And we sat down and wrote a story. There was a couple of big challenges and small challenges. I mean, when you're doing anything low budget, just to keep the whole production going, keeping everybody happy and everything smoothly, it's hard on its own. Some of the main challenges we had, especially on a schedule, because we had to break it up into 17 days. We couldn't have a flow of production because people had to go off to get real jobs. You know, that's a problem. I mean, one of my actors got in a bar fight the night before, couldn't show up on set. My DP had an emergency work thing. He had to take off, and then he brought in another DP, a friend of his, and the friend got arrested on the way to the set. He had some kind of warrant on him and the car, and then equipment got impounded. So we lost 3 days of shooting. We had to reschedule a month later and reshoot it like that. That's some of the problems, the big ones. Smaller ones were more like, you know, we had a hard drive and we were shooting so much footage, and pretty much we couldn't put enough of the footage on that hard drive. So media management wise, we had to get 2 different hard drives and move stuff over from an editor. He had to work off 2 different hard drives. Those are the minor problems, you know, but you run into a lot of different things working on anything indie. For the guys who are just starting out right now, just sort of who don't have experience in just general production of content, I would say just practice and shoot as much footage as you can and learn your craft and learn how to do it properly. Sometimes people just want to shoot stuff just to put on YouTube, and it's great. That's part of it. You know, for independent producers who are starting out, who are new, they should do that. Just find your voice, learn the craft, and do as much as you can, because you will get better eventually. For the people who have experience in production, whether it's short films, TV, and they're just sort of entering the web world, do your research, do a lot of pre-production, you know, come up with a marketing plan, come up with a list of distributors you want to talk to, come up with a nice budget, pretty much just pre-produce something that is you can sell. So how about package it? I don't want to sound like Hollywood, but you need to have a package ready before you're even shooting your show, and talk to all distributors of what they want, what kind of shows they're looking for, what kind of genres they're looking for, and then just take it from there. We kind of went back to like the 80s or the 70s, because TV right now, it's not really like it used to be. It was an 80s style sitcom. When people ask me, I'm trying to explain the show, but The Roommates, it's an 80s style sitcom. And if you watch television in the 80s, you kind of know, the cool beginning of with the song, and like a format. And I think the content is very relatable to when we shot in 2008, 2009, and to even now, the roommate situation. We have a lot of kooky characters. From a porn star to an illegal living together, to just regular folks kind of living together trying to manage a house. And the acting was great, and it's a very high-end show, which I'm very proud of. Some of the people that helped me put it together was Alice Cutler, who was the co-writer of the show, and she also plays Kelly, one of the main actors in the show, and Jonathan Zwiebin, who's an independent film producer too, helped me out a lot. Even if you love independent movies, I consider myself an independent producer, which means you try to scrape up money to put something together. But no matter what I do, it has to get better when it comes to production value and the people. You want to have a proper production. You want to have a proper production that runs smoothly. You don't want to have people getting arrested, and taken away on set, cops showing up. And as an independent producer, you have to kind of do it that way, where you're guerrilla shooting scenes where you can't be, and you're always watching out for cops and stuff like that. So my advice is that really have a nice budget. Really surround yourself with people who know their craft, who know what they're doing, so they can help you make the production the best it possibly can, and to go smooth. It doesn't mean the show will be the best. It doesn't mean the content will be the best. But as somebody who's trying to move up their way in the chain of Hollywood or indie world, your content and your reel, speaks of who you are and what you can do. And I think the more somebody does, the better their material has to be. I really believe that until people are comfortable sitting on their couch and watching web on the TV, it's coming soon. Eventually, we're not there yet. People are still sitting on the computers, and TV is still TV. And until people are really comfortable have the ability to watch internet stuff just plopped out on their couch, the web is still going to be the medium point, under television. I think marketing-wise, people creating more content, distributors signing deals with web portal distributors, signing deals with these small cable networks that are out there right now for the content. It could have that smooth transition where people can actually watch web television on their television. Years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people were shooting 20-minute, 15-minute short films, as they're calling card in Hollywood, to show what they can do. These days, people are more interested in, doing 3-minute, 3-episode, 5-minute kind of web series, and then pitch it to network, sort of to show what a show is, whether it's for the web, if they want to invest in that, or mostly as pilots for television. I was talking to a few distributors before we even finished the show, so we pitched them the idea. And back then, it was 2008, 2009, they were kind of starting out also. And they said, yeah, we'll take the show, because, they just wanted content on their sites. After we finished the show, we kind of just gave it to them. I was signing non-exclusive deals with as many web portals as I possibly could find. And most of the deals that we sign are non-exclusive deals where nobody really pays you up front. Everybody has kind of an ad revenue share program where views, and then they have a formula to CPUs or whatever, however it works out for them. Some of them are different. Because you don't really know what the advertisers pay them and what their deals. You don't really know. So whatever they tell you, it just kind of you have to, you have to listen to them. Yeah, I'll take it. And at that point, I wasn't expecting to make money off the show. I was just, I just wanted to get my work seen. And, that's how I did it back then. I'm still doing it right now, signing as many deals as I possibly can for the show. And I'm hoping, also maybe sign a few phone deals for the show. I'm also pitching to a few digital cable networks when it comes to, the distribution. Small marketing wise was, you got to set up as many accounts on as many media things as you possibly can with your poster, your trailer, synopsis, twittering, whatever you do, screenings, showcases in LA, film festivals, stuff like that you can do. Another weird thing I did when it comes to grassroots, it's there's some of these sites like Chat Roulette and many others like that where it's just, for people who don't know that it just, you randomly speak to people who you don't know all over the world, and it goes back and forth through your laptop, through the camera. And I found a way to hook up a trailer instead of watching yourself through the computer or talking to them. Just a trailer plays, and you just rotate it, switches from next person, and that was a weird just thing that I was able to manage to do, just think out of the box when it comes to marketing. And all this advice is for people who don't have real money to promote. If you have money to promote it, if you have a studio backing you, production company backing you, you can get things seen. But if you don't, you have to find creative and really grassroots methods to get your work out there. Positive experience, learning what the web has to offer, where it's going to be eventually, down the road, kind of being in the beginning process of seeing something grow. Because in 20, 30, 40 years from now, you can say, I was there when this was just starting out. Meeting the people that I met, the crews that I met that I've worked with, which did a great job for me, especially when you're paying them very little or not paying them at all, and the actors that you become friends with and you use for future projects. So there's a lot of positive things that happen from Saving Rent, and especially of how the show turned out. If the show didn't turn well, you could say, okay, whatever, just next one. But I'm very lucky that the show turned out the way it did, because I wasn't expecting to turn out that well, but it did, and I'm very proud of that. Future projects, I have 2 more short films that I'm pre-producing right now that I want to sort of get out of the way, and one is more of like erotic thriller type, and the shorts I'm doing is for the purpose that I just feel that I have 3 short films now. I produced an indie feature, I produced a web series. I just feel like 5 short films would be good for me. And after that, I'm just going to concentrate on developing feature film projects.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking this time and speaking with us today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, James.
What I'd like to highlight from our interview today with Gary is when he brought up the point about using a web series as a calling card. Now, in the old days, film students or new filmmakers would create a short film and use that as their calling card. They'd go to festivals, or they may try to shop that around Hollywood to get some recognition or to get in those important meetings. But now we can do that with a web series. And what he pointed out, which I want to stress, is that if you're planning to use this web series as a calling card, you need to spend time in the pre-production, getting everything together, so that when you do show it to someone, they will know that you know how to pull everything together, the crew, the talent, the script, and make something that's impressive, that can get someone's attention if this is your calling card. I'm James Tucker, and you've been watching The Web Series Show. You can watch the full uncut episode on our website, thewebseriesshow.com.